All right, in today's video, we're going to be talking about the AirPods Pro 2. Now this is what I've been waiting for. Honestly, this Apple product, it didn't matter what they charged for it. I was probably going to buy it. It didn't really matter. Why have I been looking forward to this? Well, the AirPods I use every single day. Like every single day. They're so easy to use. They're so convenient. People talk about the sound quality. So when I first read reviews about the original AirPods, people said the sound quality wasn't very good, and you know, there was a lot of differences in the way people were hearing the sound. You know, Apple talked about in their keynote speech that, you know, the size of your head and all that can affect the way you perceive sound, and sound is a very individualized thing, especially when you're talking about personal audio gear. For me personally, the AirPods have always been good for me. They've always worked out for me. So for me, these have always been perfect. They've always never let me down. I had some Comply ear tips, so like some memory foam ear tips with them. They actually improved the sound quite a lot. The only problem with those ear tips is when you put the AirPods back in the case, sometimes the ear tips were too large that they'd interfere with the charging. So you would basically come back and your AirPods would be at 0%. So I just went back and stuck with these, the normal ear tips. And to be fair, they're decent. Because the thing about AirPods that nobody really talks about, I'm going on a bit of a tangent, but what people don't talk about the AirPods is the difference between them being in your ear, like kind of just sitting on your ear here, versus being pushed into your ear. The difference in sound quality is literally almost night and day. That's why I can understand why some people don't think they're good quality headphones, because depending on the fit, and I know this year they have like an extra small ear tip, maybe that might help some people, but depending on the fit, it really changes the sound quality. I think people really don't understand that. You really have to try. I think them adding that extra tip is a great idea, because the people that's maybe small, well, I don't know if it's small, but the people in that population who don't, you know, get the best experience, it might be because the seal isn't tight enough. And maybe they have like a bone in their ear, which is, you know, stopping that from happening. So that smaller tip might actually be clutch for them. So Apple this year is saying that there's gonna be a 50% increase in the active noise cancellation, which is interesting. How I rated these noise cancellations, I actually think these are decent. 50% would be a huge jump. But I do think when they say that, it's very variable, because these are good in some situations and less good in other situations. If you've got consistent sounds, like a consistent rumble or like an air conditioner or like a fan, that's perfect. It gets rid of that perfectly. But anything that's inconsistent doesn't do great on. So it's going to be interesting to see how well it does. Well, one, at making those consistent sounds even quieter. So like maybe on an airplane or something. And also if it can do the more inconsistent sounds, if it can do a better job with those more inconsistent sounds. So we'll see. So this year has a new case, so that's going to be interesting. I think, well, you can see on my one, I have like a key fob type, well, like a key holder type thing on there. And Apple have actually now built it into the new AirPods, which is smart, if you ask me. I don't know if I'll use it though. I might just keep using something like this, but I'm not sure. Because the problem with not having a case and then having like a key holder on the case is, you know, when it's in your pockets, on your bags, it's going to be scratching up the AirPod case. So it's something you might want to consider getting a case anyway, or something that can hold the AirPods. But with the new case also comes a stronger battery life. So Apple are now saying you can get 6 hours of listening time, which is really good. And, you know, obviously it's bringing them back in line with some of the newer Bluetooth headphones, which have come out since the original AirPods Pro came out. So there's a lot of competition in that market right now. For me, the reason why I favor Apple just a little bit over the other things, and you know, I actually bought, let me see if I find it. I bought these Nothing Ear ones, and they are actually pretty good. They are actually pretty good. But for me, what really made it difficult for me to kind of jump to these was, I mean, there was some small Bluetooth issues, but the biggest problem is this ecosystem thing. You know, it's super annoying. It's the ecosystem thing, and also it's the convenience. This case is too big. It's too bulky, and with Apple, everything is just the convenience. And I don't want to sound like an Apple fanboy, but in this case, I'm a big fan of AirPods Pros. I'm just a big fan of AirPods Pros, so you know, it is what it is. Now, another thing I'm really interested in testing out, it's a bit of a niche thing, but it's spatial audio. Now, Apple talks a lot about this spatial audio thing, but I would say 90% of the time I've used it, it's been pretty terrible, especially when you're listening to music. It's just like an echoey mess to me. Even if you change the head tracking from, if you fix the head tracking, it still doesn't sound good. It just sounds like echoey. Doesn't sound good. The only time I've used it where it actually really was good, and it was just by accident. I just had my headphones in and I put on a sports channel on one of these sports apps, and that actually was quite amazing because it was on my iPad, so it felt like the sound was in front of me. So I think that's the whole point of what they're trying to do. But if you're walking around in the street listening to music, spatial audio doesn't work. So it's going to be interesting to see if they actually can improve that, because they're talking about, you know, measuring your ear profile and having like custom profile for your ears and stuff. So yeah, well, I want to take a look at that. To be honest, I think I won't really use that. Just gonna keep it simple, but I just want to see if there's any use for it. It could be good for the gym, you know, maybe, who knows. But yeah, so again, tune in next week and I will have the AirPods Pro ready to review, or well, AirPods Pro for unboxing. I've got a small channel. Drop all your questions in the comment section. I'll answer every question about whatever you want to know about the AirPods Pro 2. So yeah, let me know. Like, comment, and subscribe. It takes a moment for you, but it means the world to me, and I'll catch you in the next one.